Hi, this is Clay McKinney, Developer On-Ramp Introduction to HTML course. We have talked about headings and we've talked about paragraphs, and you've seen a little bit about how HTML works with HTML tags and how the tags define the structure of a document, and then the browser interprets that and shows it. So now I want to nail down some of the bigger concepts that aren't really code, but just take a minute and mention a few things, some things that I want you to look up, and that sort of thing. So let's get started. All right, we have Notepad++ now, and we'll make a new document, and we're going to call it "What is HTML?" Close H1. Let's make that a question. Okay, so HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext Markup Language. And what hypertext means there is that some text you can click on and it'll take you somewhere else, to another document or another place in your same document. So that's the idea of links, and if you link documents together, you have a web. So hypertext markup language and the idea of the World Wide Web are, that's pretty much the same concept. And hypertext markup language was invented in 1989 by Tim Berners-Lee, and he's important. He's the inventor of HTML. So go do a search on Google and read his Wikipedia entry, and then you'll know all about Tim Berners-Lee. So he's the creator of HTML. Who maintains HTML, the hypertext markup language, who decides what tags go in and what tags come out? That is called the World Wide Web Consortium. World Wide Web Consortium, and that's always abbreviated the W3C. And you'll hear it called the W3C far more often than you'll hear it called the World Wide Web Consortium, because it's easier to say. All right, so we've got the World Wide Web Consortium. That's another good idea to go read about that on Wikipedia. And let me, I've been typing. You can't see what I've been typing. All right, so that's all I've typed. What is HTML? Hypertext Markup Language, 1989, Tim Berners-Lee, World Wide Web Consortium. Okay, and where does this fit in? So the idea is that HTML plus JavaScript plus CSS equals front-end development. So if you want to be a programmer and you want to make the front end part of a website, the part that people interact with in the browser, not the part that's working on the server, there are three languages involved in that: HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. And what they're for: HTML is for the structure of the document, and we've talked about that some. HTML does headlines, and it does paragraphs, and it does other things, lists of items. It does some, there's some inline things that you can tell it, like if you want a word to be strong or you want a word to be emphasized, and things like that. But it's about structure. We're structuring the document. So that's what HTML is for. CSS, that stands for Cascading Style Sheets. And that is for the look of the site, the design of the site, alignment, color, typography, borders, padding, margins, justification. You get the idea. Anything like that is done with CSS. And then JavaScript, that is where you do logic, processing. For instance, in HTML, you could make a form that says type a number and gives them a place to type a number. And then on the next line, it could say type another number and give them a place to type a number. And HTML could give them a button to click on. But HTML cannot add the two numbers together. HTML has no idea about math or anything. So JavaScript can do any kind of programming. It can test conditions, and have like if-then statements, and it can do loops, so it can do the same thing over and over again and change it a little each time. All of those sorts of, any kind of programming you can do with JavaScript. So that's how these three fit together. This course is about HTML, but this course is just a part of the whole. The developer on-ramp, I'm going to do an introduction to all three of these in separate courses. HTML, we can pretty much just knock out a list of tags, and that's all there is to it. It's going to be super easy, and you're going to love it. It's fun to play with. You type things in, and you immediately see the result in your browser. Which reminds me, we need to save this and go look at it in the browser. So let's call it what is HTML.html, and we will save it as an HTML file, Hypertext Markup Language file. Boop. Okay, and we can go look at it. It's my developer on-ramp folder, what is HTML, open it in the browser. Okay, so that's our vocabulary. There's one more thing I want to add to this, and that is there's HTML reference. At the Mozilla developer reference. Alright, so that should find it, and you can see I've already been there. Okay, so developer.mozilla.org, HTML reference, this link right here, I'm going to copy it into this document so you can see it. Mozilla developer reference, and this is where it has all of the rules for all of the HTML tags right here. So you guys can get ahead and go read that. It's very interesting, very well done, very well laid out. And Mozilla Mozilla, they created the Firefox browser, and they're part of the World Wide Web Consortium, the W3C. They're part of it. All the browser manufacturers are part of it, and other people that have a stake in it. But especially, but Mozilla just contributes a ton, and they've done this fantastic developer reference. So I wanted to mention that. All right, so, I told you that hypertext had to do with it being links. The word markup, that just means that we're going through our text and we're marking it up with these tags, right? The H1 tag, the P tag, all the other tags that we're going to learn. That's how the language works. That's how the language works, is with, you mark up the text with tags. Okay, so I hope that gives you some additional context. It's really fun to learn, and we're just gotten started. So hang in there, and we're going to knock it out. Thanks.